Hello there, fellow empire builders. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Homeworld. Episode 38, Firing Up the Ancient Gate Hauler. Okay, we definitely still have time to go to the Gate Hauler while we wait. So we're gonna go back to the Abyss. Abyss excursion number 2. Alright, fleet. I'm gonna take Banlish out. Myself. And then, let's see. I'm gonna, because we have a recent gate, I'm gonna pull out the Ryless Drow. And then, like a whole bunch of quick moving fast strike ships, a much bigger fleet, if you will, so that I don't really have to worry about the abyssal forces murking me so bad. I'm not going to worry too much about fuel min-maxing or anything, because with our new with access to the new gate, I think it will be far less of an issue. Let's hope I'm right about that. And let's get our captains sitting pretty in these ships. We want a payback fight, right? It's going to be a little weird that I have 2 party buses. You are the party van now. A van with candy. Alright, looking good. Fuel's up, crew's up. So, let's get back to the Abyss. Yeah, our supplies did seem a little low. I'm gonna grab a little bit more. I mean, it's 800. It's not that low, but for how long we might be out, I might as well fill it up a bit more. Double it. Cheers. And yeah, the Persian League is here just to, like, kind of scan, harass us. That's what they do leading up to their blockade. That's their ammo. Being jerks. Basically, everyone wants to be our jerk. Whoa, Luddic Path just disrupted Chikamatsak. Oh my goodness, they were effective. Wasn't the planet killer, if that's what you were wondering. So we use 1,000 over 4,000 fuel, a little bit more than 1,000 gating over here. Seems okay. Into the dark. The Ryless is a little bit slower, but ultimately it doesn't really matter because their burn level sucks anyway. What is a crisis at, you ask? It is now 556 out of 600. Oh man, with this entity like shadowing us, it almost feels like we're not moving until we saw that abyssal light. I was like, are we moving? I can't tell. Yeah, we're moving. I mean, our fuel's going down. And if you're wondering about the fuel, as you can see, we will probably have to, like, go to the Blue Giant and then, like, gate somewhere to core. The other thing we could do, actually, is, this. So I'm going to make the choice The Starfaring Captain is going to briefly become the Scavenging Captain, so that I can scavenge more. And let's see, anything else that helps us with this? Well, I don't want to use that. Not really. Whatever. That way, if we get in any scraps, we can scavenge fuel off of the fights. All right. What caused so much damage? Oh, switching the XO ate a whole bunch of supplies. Or something. I'm not really sure what took damage. And because we have a bigger fleet, I can now interdict engage. Not that I'm trying to kill these things, but like hoping for the movement speed bonus. And if not, I can engage them anyway, knowing that I have the forces to win. Oh, my hypervelocity driver wasn't on auto fire. That's a problem. So I'm going to try to shoot the tendrils is not my primary target. I want to get rid of the things that do the most damage here, which is the shrouded eyes. But I hope my captains are smart about... Oh, I didn't mean to... mule, go away. What are these things? Shrouded maelstrom stuff. Okay, we do have a, an eradicator. Okay, there it goes. An eradicator on the left side that is, like, not doing great. But it just got back up from the onslaught, so it should be alright. Alright, I think the Fury on the right side is in the most danger. So that's where I'm going to reinforce. God, hitting these things are hard. Because they just have a small hitbox. It's hard to tell, like, where the hitbox is exactly. Alright, Fury, hold in there. I'm coming. Alright, another Maelstrom got destroyed. And defeated. Nice. And we picked up 2 substrates. And unfortunately, I don't think we're any faster. We're still, yeah, because it was a fleet. The good news is, we can do this. That's not what I meant to do. This. Fuel from nothing. I love it. So hopefully that pays for itself. I will see. There we go. A little faster. Oh, this is just a gravity well? Let's drop in. It's not technically fuel from nothing, it's just fuel from, like, scrap. Okay. We are getting pretty close to limbo now. Whoops. Okay, limbo's in sight. And we know there's some fights in limbo which will fuel our scrap, which is nice. Alright, in terms of danger, colony crises is climbing, but I should still have plenty of time. I'm not too worried about that. So let's go over to the mothballed equipment first and grab that. Given the strength of their fleet... I'm gonna go, like, bare minimum. Because I'm trying to preserve supplies. I might actually just take out all the small things and have the Eradicator's missiles help me with the Guardian. My, like, lasers are not super effective against the Guardians. I don't have a great amount of, like, shield damage weapons, because my big lasers are anti-armor, not anti-shield. But now the Eradicators are focused on the Guardian, and I should be able to sneak in, like, a rear shot. Or give them the option to get a rear shot here. Yo. Don't worry about that enemy. There we go. And now this thing's flux maxed and dead. What are you doing? Well, you survived. I was a little worried that that Eradicator was living up to its name and just eradicating itself, but luckily it survived. Alright, we got some fuel and supplies. Okay, with the automated defenses cleared, your salvers are free to crack open the enormous zero-G vaults of the cache. Power is provided to the guide conduits, fused circuits replaced with temporary fittings, and the great doors persuaded to loosen their mechanical restraints. At first it appears to be empty, a colossal tomb never filled. Then the probe mount radar starts to build a picture in your bridge display, while suit lights pile their beams into the space, catching drifts of dust and gas set afloat by the reopening. Spars gleam in the dark, revealing trifold radial symmetry. Sir, your tech officer says, attention fixed not on the suit cams or bridge display, but on a technical specs scrolling through a display already overfull with diagrams, documents. You have to see this. It's old, very old, but the queries sent by your solver interfacers are returning green for the most part. It's a wormhole anchor. Your tech officer explains, excitement palpable, loaded with calibration data and fuel to power whatever it was going to. This was prepped to deploy at a nearby point of stability. The automation went into standby at some point, so here it is. Examine the find. So we have a wormhole anchor and the wormhole scanner, which I'm going to right-click and integrate into my fleet now. Then, pick through the scrap. And then keep picking through the scrap. Oh, apparently not there. Deploy the wormhole anchor here. Before we do that, there was another point of interest over here, the automated mining station. So we'll do that next. And I'm just going to do it solo. It's not a lot of defenders. I mean, it's a lot, but it's like not strong ones. Yes, burn drive right into me, bud. That's a winning tactical plan. When they're so close, I can't even, like, get them centered on laser. It's kind of funny. I mean, my point defense ends up just, like, splashing them no problem. It's just not, like, a threat to me at all. All right. All salvaged, and scrap is getting sorted. I was definitely right to switch to the scrap officer, because I am drowning in stuff now. All right, I'm going to throw some of the metals out, because I don't even have room for it. Learn the blueprint. Okay, so that's done. Ink. 20 days on commerce. Copy that. All right, let's pop through the wormhole anchor to the other side. Initiate transit to wormhole terminus Charlie. So here we are. We were in limbo. Now we're at let's call it Charlie, and we're gonna head over to the gas giant or ice giant. And here is a Domain Era Gate Hauler. Your fleet approaches the Domain Era Gate Hauler. It's a Leviathan from Out of Time, at once familiar from its many and varied depictions in the secondary culture of post-collapse Persian sector. But to see it here in the proverbial flesh, it is the alien force of the Domain's power reified before you, looming like a blackened emperor slumped dead, but dreaming still on a throne of stars. You feel the weight of history pressing upon your chest, a tone like a distant ringing. You are frozen for an unconscious moment, as if your mind was held in the gaze of a god. And in the next instant, it is nothing but a buzz of power conduits and low thrum of adgrav or aggrav within the drive bubble, usually relegated to a filter of unperception by your subconsciousness. You adjust your uniform and turn to your bridge officers. Order salvage teams to perform an assessment. It is no simple task to appraise a gate hauler, for the ship is truly massive. Your officers, however, have the tools, ancient data files, and trained and readied crew. Known variants of gate hauler designs are pulled up on shared display to match to the example which looms over your fleet. Your operations chief oversees the deployment of salvers key points in coordination with targeted sensor sweeps. Meanwhile, your tech officer and chief engineer review the deep archive containing flight statistics on thousands of recorded gate hauler deployments in order to anticipate the results of in-transit damage and subsequent self-repair protocols. Tell me what happened here. Your op orders the solvers to prioritize data connection, and it's soon online via ancient protocols. Walls of amber error codes glow in your tech officer's interface. You have part of an answer soon enough. The functioning of gate hauler's enormous but primitive Alcubierre drive system was massively disrupted mid-transit. The ship's automation could not ascertain the cause of the discontinuity, and so, to protect the literal astronomical value of its cargo, forced the ship into an automatic failsafe mode. Most of the remaining fuel was dumped, and the rest used to slow to an orbit of the most accessible nearby mass concentration, this lonely ice giant. The new maneuver took the better part of a century. Standard procedure would have the domain send a well-supplied expedition of gate engineers to reset the primary systems and send the gate hauler back on its journey, albeit many hundred cycles behind schedule. But no one showed up. The ancient records of note that gate haulers would carry a standard complement of automated survey, extraction, refining drones in case of lost contact. The documents seem to imply the ability to procure new sources of fuel and materials effectively at vast distances from failsafe point. Though at the scale implied, this process would be inefficient at superliminal speeds, even via hyperspace, assuming use of baseline domain frontier technology. You can only conclude that this particular self-recovery effort ended with the drone expedition sent to the Limbo system, and it was to use obscure Explorium wormhole technology to supply the gate hauler so that it could continue its mission. In any event, your search has turned up no additional technology treasures aside from the undeployed gate itself, of course, held tight in the many-limbed face of the great starship. The details accumulate, each senior officer manipulating the shared display as reports are given. Finally, your chief engineer clears the hollow back to the slowly rotating false-lit overview of the entire vast starship. They suppress a brief smile as they clear their throat. Sir, a pause for anticipation, a rare indulgence by your habitually practical chief engineer. I have the pleasure to report that it is possible to reactivate the gate hauler. It could be targeted to a known system within the Persean sector at your command. It just needs transplutonics. A lot of transplutonics. Unlike familiar Starship engines, the gate hauler doesn't use standard domain AM fuel package. Once a critical mass of transplutonics is achieved, the gate hauler will be able to operate for at least 1,000 cycles with functionally unlimited range within the bounds of the Persean sector. Tell me how to turn this thing back on. Your chief engineer starts nodding and tapping their tripod, mumbling over technical figures. An interactive display appears at your executive interface with a few manipulations. The chief has material schedule prepared for your review. Wants 1,000 transplutonics. Well, I have 1,300, so that should be fine. Proceed with activation. Your operations chief oversees the transfer of transplutonics. Streams of cargo drones feed the unimaginably huge bulk of the hauler. It seems strange that so little can move so much so far. With only a little coaxing, the gate hauler's automation churns into something like machine awareness. Sensors reports power surges throughout the hull as ancient conduits and machines self-test. Some failing, long-dormant self-repair drones begin to seethe like vermin. And slowly, your fleet's various sensors feel the glowing power of the machine. Magnetic fields shudder. Neutrinos begin to spill forth in earnest from reactions deep within the mass of the beast. Gravitic fluctuations from the warp pylons flutter, and your own drive bubble compensates. It will take about a day, engineering reports, and then the gate hauler will be likely to receive navigational input. It's a little big. This is my executor. This is the gate hauler. It's like a fish looking at a whale going, huh, we're the same? No, really not. Your fleet approaches the gate hauler. The Titanic ship lays potent before you. Ancient but powerful drive fields thrumming through the membrane of space-time. You can almost feel it through the Agrav's self-correction, the drone of a machine god. Almost. Once provided with a destination, the gate hauler will travel through normal space. A gate cannot be moved through hyperspace. The hauler will travel faster than light speed, thankfully, due to its venerable Alcubierre drive. Indeed, the hauler will quickly accelerate to an apparent normal space speed, which your fleet cannot match with its relatively tiny in-system drives. The journey will take quite some time due to traveling significantly slower than standard hyperspace permits. After it has arrived at the target destination, you may give the order to deploy the gate to an unoccupied, stable location. So we are going to send it to dough. Where is home? ET phone home. Oh my god. The constellation-less map throws me hard. Here it is. Bye-bye. So in 707 days, this thing will arrive. I'm gonna highlight this as important. Okie dokie. Bye now. Don't crash. And time for us to get our butts back home too. So, I am gonna shut down the wormhole and retrieve its anchor. So now we have wormhole anchor Charlie. And let's go get Foxtrot. So the gate hauler, the TLDR, the gate hauler allows you to deploy a gate at a stable point, and it can only do this once. The wormholes allow you to link two systems together via stable points. Much the way that we teleported from Limbo to where we are now instantly. The gate anchors, under normal circumstances, take a while to deploy. But once deployed, it acts as a gate, but only a gate between 2 points, rather than a gate to any other gate. We're gonna go pick up the other half of this thing and then try to get back to core, although my fuel range is frighteningly low. And commerce is done at Inc. Cool. Now it has a significant stability penalty. The next thing I'm going to do is a high-tech orbital station to compensate for some of its lost stability. Can't use slingshot in the abyss? Nope. Slingshots require gravity wells. Significant gravity wells, of which there are none here. Round orbs aren't big enough. It's got to be a giant of some sort. And there's no giants out this way. So now we have both wormhole anchors to potentially use. And what we're going to want to do is fly back to the gate that we know of and kind of probably interdict pulse everything just so that we can get like more fuel. There it is. The gate hauler has officially opened open space and they are chugging along towards dough. All right, more fighting. I need to fix my weapon groups for my hypervelocity driver. I keep forgetting to. Yo, what are you trying to eat me? Like, back up, dude. Yo, Fury, run. I'm trying to help you, but you gotta back up. The Onslaught's helping me out with the big guy, but my flux is all sorts of bad right now, because I have no breathing room here. There we go, those little guys. Pissed off. Alright, let's quickly vent. One of the challenging things about fighting these things is it's really hard to tell, like, what they're even looking at. Because they're so amorphously strange that it's like, well, I'm firing on something. Okay, leave that Eradicator alone, please. Oh god, Eradicator, run. I'm trying to body block for you. Okay, there we go. Okay, there is an Aurora not doing so hot somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh god, it's dead. Run, General, run! I think that's Sun Tzu in it. Sun Tzu, get out of there! Nope. Turtle Sandwich and Sun Tzu went down with the ship. They tried to take on one of the eyes and like wandered off alone. I was, by the time I noticed, it was like maybe a little too late to issue meaningful commands, which is why I didn't, because it wouldn't have really mattered at that point. Basically, when you're 99% dead, ain't much you can do at that point. Fury, don't cut me off. My ships seem to have a really hard time taking these things out. I'm like the only one that's been destroying them reliably. Some of that might just be like, my ships are simply not designed for engagements where the enemy can just like warp backwards quickly. They don't have like pursuit capabilities, or they're not harassment ships. If I had more phase ships might be a good counter to these guys. Not all phase ships, of course, but some phase ships, so that like when they try to go to rapid disengage, they get locked down by phase. Because that's essentially what phase does. Phase ships are like fundamentally harassing ships. All right, Onslaught, can you stop strafing in front of me? I'm literally gonna bump you until you move. I'm like lasering your butt. You keep strafing in front of me. Stop it. All right, I'm gonna zero flux accelerate to the other, whoever this is. The other glitch. There we go. Laser time. Now, yeah, where are you gonna teleport now? Towards me? Yeah. And I think this is the last one. Man, this is a long fight. All right. Ship recovery. Recover. And we now have a shrouded mantle. Oh, take it. You find your technology officer and chief engineer in another discussion over one of the unusual sessions held in the special salvage bay. Engineering is frowning, manipulating a diagram of a ship with abrupt flicks at the interface. It happened to be anchored to the flux grid. Only way to keep it wrapped close enough to the hull geometry. Precisely, tech says, to keep the exotic materials from diminishing. It will draw energy from incoming particles, storing it in the metaplasma. Engineering sorts dismissively. Merely a working term. Tech says defensively. We can't store energy forever in this theoretical pretend plasma. Engineering says, it'll have to go somewhere. Invert the polarity of the flux converters and flicker the drive field. Boom, a gentle bump to local space-time. Tech looks self-satisfied. By which, I mean the ship itself. You hope it's a gentle bump. Engineering frowns, pulling up agrav inertial suppression timing charts. If it works, it'll work, Tech says. Remember last time? Prove it. I want a full proposal and testing schedule by end of shift. Both at attention, having been so involved in their argument that neither noticed you approach. Sir, yes, sir, they say, saluting. You consider the undeniable possibility that the Luddic faith would view any use of this technology as literally demonic? You could be declared a heretical outlaw and hunted by the Knights of Lud and Luddic Path alike. Shrouded Mantle Hull Mod. So, if you're wondering what that is down here. And crew casualties in combat are increased by 50%. And the ship will attempt to recoil, hopefully away from danger when taking substantial hull damage, basically the warp backwards thing. And if as-modded, the ship benefits from 50% of the healing provided by the Hungering Rift, which is one of the items that we have. Alright, time to continue limping to core. I think I just got an Onslaught blueprint. I did. Funky. Can I just get a speed boost, guys? I don't need to just constantly be attacked. I'll just constantly be attacked. Okay, back in it. I keep forgetting to fix my weapon groups for the hypervelocity driver too. So I'm gonna focus on trying to take out the eyes, the shrouded eyes, because they seem to be what knocks out my own ships quickly. And the shrouded eyes don't seem to have the same flinching shrouded mantle reaction that the other enemies do. Although, if I could get the Onslaught to help me out with the mothership, that would be not terrible. Okay, that Fury on the left I'm a little worried about. Same with the one on the right. I'm gonna help the one on the right. I hope the Onslaught can handle it, because I don't feel like losing any other ships. I'm a-coming. Alright, eyeball. You want to tangle? I'm getting swarmed. Some of the auroras that are over here aren't like doing much for me. Oh, Fury went down, the one I was worried about. No, actually, that wasn't even the one I was worried about. Yo, can you frickin'... You, right there! Can you do something? Like, you've just been sitting in my shadow this whole frickin' time doing nothing, dude. And I've noticed. Get into the fight. Okay, I'm flamed out. I can't move, so I'm just gonna vent. Because I don't see a reason not to. Here we go. They don't do... can you... Now you're bumping me? Okay. I'm gonna vent you to vacuum if you continue this nonsense. Nope, I'm flamed out again. You are not doing so hot. You, come back. Alright, engines are online. Let's get busy again. And we lost an Eradicator. What I might end up doing is, like, not necessarily bringing all these ships back, because I'm already worried about my fuel consumption, given that I don't really have a lot of fuel ships. So, recovering ships that take extra demods may not be worth it unless they're, like, significantly S-modded already. Okay. The nameless shrouded maelstroms are getting really annoying. Also, there's a lot of ships on in my fleet that, like, are seemingly not doing anything. They're just kind of like floating out of engagement range for reasons. I'm gonna dangerously drop my shields. Yeah, there goes a Fury. Dangerously drop my shields so that I can vent more passively. Oh, there goes the onslaught. What are you doing? Like, what is, I get the Aurora is, like, duking it out with 3, but what are you doing, guy? You're a tourist. As far as I can tell, you're just, like, touring the abyss right now. There you go. You starting to engage. Oh, God, I'm getting melted here. Hey, Eradicator. Can you help? Oh my god. Okay, I'm flamed out, can't move. I'm trying to get shields back, but, you know, I have 0. Oh, I'm being spun. You aren't doing frickin' squat. You aren't doing squat either. And I'm gonna blow up. Wow, I've never not had engines for this long. Okay, let's see. Transfer command. Into the Aurora. Alright, I think what I'll do is tell everyone to full retreat. And I'm taking control of this one manually. Essentially, with the lack of... Oh god, they're just... I can't outrun them, even an Aurora with plasma jets. What's happening here is, like, because I didn't have and don't have a fuel ship, it's really challenging to go into the abyss. Alternatively, what I could have done is gone with, like, a very low amount of ships and really picked and chose my, just, like, hand-picked my engagements. I thought a larger fleet could handle it, but, like, some of it is just, like, we're getting, flame out to death, where, like, our ships can't actually shoot what they want to shoot, meaning that they are rendered inert. Because watching the map, like, I could issue orders, but it didn't really matter, because a lot of the ships that were in the fleet weren't doing anything. They were just, like, staring at deep space, being stupid. Is what it is. I at least pulled this one out. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Homeworld, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow stateless.